So, since it's ancient history, I feel like interpreting a woman of historical importance that I take very seriously, Saint Joan of Arc, who did not have a friend or ally on earth. She had her God, Jesus Christ. 19 years old, maybe 20. Back then, you're given birth in the church, is the hospital. So, in some ways, they call the midwife on the Epiphany of 1412. St. Joan of Arc dead on the stake in the hands of the English Dungeners. Not nice people. I mean, if you think about it, what a crap, like the worst job in the army, right? Go enjoy the dungeon, you low cousin or whatever. I mean, just I got to give my nephew a job somewhere. Send him, give him a dungeon. He's that type. Now, the little Hefner of France is not much better. He's got his little Hefner mansion in the countryside and he won't wake up. He likes them young. So, this is what these Dom Remy French do to the little prince boy man thing. Hefner, crown prince, who likes them young. They send St. Joan of Arc, God love her, a virgin who's been married and had an annulment. Again, in her the court records disappear from her annulment. The way I understand it, Matt, says Jacques, I had a daughter. My daughter liked to go out dancing. They took her to a stable instead of bringing her home after giving her a roofie. Does that make sense to you? I go, that sounds like fighting words, Mr. Dark. He goes, fighting words. It would have started a feud. And I was a big man in my city, Matt. I go, I understand, Mr. This might rally the. He goes, you don't say. You know what a feud is, don't you, Matt? I go, yes, sir. He goes, me and county sheriff over there that knew these three young men came to an agreement and had us appear in a court and said which one of the stable boys that took Jack's kid off to instead it'd be like this because again this is 1400s medieval dungeon Europe dark ages stuff. It'd be like off she goes to dance, she gets sick, instead of taking her home or to the hospital they put her in a brothel. So anyway, virgin St. Joan of Arc. Hold on a minute, we'll get to it. So the Dom Remy French send God love her, not a friend on earth except God himself. I don't like her friends. I don't like her allies. Jesus, foreign God, gives me something to think about. I read the history. I took her very seriously. So he gets his annulment in the court. She goes, again, there was no promise of marriage between me and any of these harloters. Him going, you, it's an annulment. Thank you for standing in for the other three losers that are going to go have to deal with their captain on the other side of this feud. Squashed. Thank you. Gone. But she is just like full of high energy, and she sees at a moment of divine inspiration a line of angelic soldiers at the forest line in her father's garden. She has a vision of Christ, Archangel Michael, French soldiers from the Hundred Years' War, which has yet to happen in France. What happens politically there is you have Burgundy, the merchants, and again, they're just wanting the money to move up and down the coast. They have their own empire here, there, and everywhere. But the money of Burgundy kind of extends across that coast of the continent of Europe and up into the British Isles and the channels and things like this. So, really, the merchant class wants peace. Then you have the tyrant of England, Henry, the king of England. You've seen the Tudors, that kind of attitude, that kind of tyranny up there. And then you have Hefner, the Dauphin of France, the crown prince, that doesn't want to wake up to the realities of war. So what they do, these Domremy French, they send her, not an innocent lamb, a very grim child of a girl. And they send her into this Hefner mansion, the crown prince of France, and they say, tell him you want to go to war. And he takes her seriously. There are rites of passage. She earns it as a knight. And then, after winning a couple and losing a couple, and having to be dragged away from, she was about to set fire to Paris. Because her philosophy, swear to God, her absolute war. She's like, well, she's like Sherman's revenge in the South in this country. She wants to burn it all. She don't care. She's war mad, is what you'd say. Really mean on the warpath kind of fighter. And her, and really of the fighting people that have to suffer with politics for the love of God, not really reasonable things, sadistic things are happening to people that have a certain dignity, but they've decided war is the way we're going back then in the Dark Ages. And her and a few of the others, they're fighting people. They're of a class of soldier that still has noble values, some ethics, and there's a small little, I don't know how to say it. There are about 200 loyalists that they send with St. Joan of Arc. The French go sell them out to the English because their problems after they lose at Paris, where she again has to be dragged out of the moat, which she's filling with pitch and about to light on fire. Again, set a fire at, like, we'll just burn it all down, then it'll be ours. And she did this on a festival day, like during Mardi Gras. So, like, while they're all partying, burn it all. That's her philosophy. Okay. Point taken. Not a simple human being. And I don't know in my lifetime, maybe you can name another example, one man, woman, or anybody that does all that at age 18. But that's how the history plays out. Okay, like it or not, I don't treat it as fiction. This to me is historical fact. And some of my thoughts are my own exposition of things because I thought a lot about it over 10, 20 years. Okay. So, anyway, eventually her whole thing is to wake Hefner up, get him out of his playground, get Jabba the Hutt up, and make him fight for France. And so when he sees how she suffers in the English dungeon system in Rouen, in the north of France, because again, the English and the French in a feudal society are just taking farmers and treating them horribly and stealing all their chickens and stuff. So it really is a Dark Ages Holocaust in the 1400s. Is the modern equivalent is Saint Joan of Arc, and many people back then are dying in a Holocaust. And you can't even blame Hefner for wanting to just have fun before the whole world burns down. It's really kind of a hopeless Europe at this point, right? Hard saying what it was like back then because I don't know myself, I don't suffer that way. Throughout my 46 years, I've had some bad days, not like them. Okay, so let's just give them that kind of grim life. But she suffers with the English, like right on the clock, precise English watchman to the minute. She suffers 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day in an English dungeon, treated like a hooker that they never paid for, and dies on the stake, pregnant, burned alive. In some oral myths, it said, and in her remains, which they threw in the river, was the heart of an innocent. Meaning, God forgive us, Who's the daddy of that? Well, it could have been any one of the soldiers in our dungeon. So give her that. The plot worked. Politically, suddenly Crown Prince goes, he's gonna do, they'll do that to everybody. They'll do what they did to Saint Joan of Arc. They will do to every single person on French until this is all English. And he wakes up and goes, we will go to war. I do have the money. Yeah, I'll muster that army again. I wanted to see how it turned out. Yes, I disbanded my loyal army and threw her to the wolves. Now it's fighting words. She was absolutely right. And the French, the king, like him or not, he's not a perfect man. No one is. He's not the devil itself, okay? He's just a man. He woke up a lot and goes, that woman was exactly why. This 19-year-old girl was why. So then, after he establishes a monarchy, brings France to peace, and boots the English, again, the Burgundians are trying every single time. Before him, for 80 years before, they're trying to make peace, going, hey, no war, no more war, England. No more war, France. Can't we just keep the money moving up and down? Like, if the money's going, like, why are you complaining? So they'll try to make these little peace negotiations. They'll bring the French and the English together and go, let's have a meeting. And every single time, these Frenchmen go, I want to kill that Englishman. And they kill him. And the Burgundians go, there you go again, you French assassins. So you cannot, of all the historians say, the best one was Philip the Good of Burgundy, because he was trying unsuccessfully to bring people to the table to avoid any war, any killing, any conflict whatsoever. And he was the richest one of any of them, which they all blamed him for. England, all she wants, get out of here, evacuate the French. But in their defense, the English have so many businesses up and down the coast thanks to Burgundy. And like it or not, King Charles was Hefner, liking him young kind of thing. He has his own history. It's 6 volumes. I never bought it. Again, this is about St. Joan of Arc. So, in their religion, the Christians, Christ has churches. They might put St. Dominic's name on it. They might put Mary the Immaculate Virgin's name on it. They might put Mother Teresa's name on it. St. Joan, strangely enough, became a saint, beatified through, because she's doing her God's work in her afterlife every single day since she died. And people have witnessed this angelic presence as a miracle worker for God, okay? So it's their religion. They have a process for this. And so apparently in 2 orthodoxies, one being Catholic and another one, which I have yet to even hear about, I have to look it up, she now has 2 churches. Jesus's churches, again, they put her name on it. But don't give up. Don't expect to do that but when you're 20 years old. But even if, we all have bad days, like not, what a grim life. Not a friend in the world. Pray about it. And if you know the story, she prays, she goes, I don't know where those voices and that white light and those angels came from, Jesus, but if I do what you ask, please put me with them. And he answered her prayer. Peace.